Jo, moin, moin, ihr Flügel und Ahoi, liebe Landratten und Rädchen da draußen und damit ein herzliches Willkommen zurück zu StarTrek Resurgence zusammen mit Toni.
Hallo.
So, Asteroiden. Hui. Kreisel, 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 Kreisel. Das habe ich noch nie am Controller so gemacht. 223 Meter Entfernung, da ist was.
Bleibt aber, oder?
Oh.
Oh, ein altes Shuttle.
Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering.
Das ist ein 5. Kinofilm, glaube ich, oder so, ne?
Ja, ja, also ein Druck-Shuttle.
I can't get it any clearer.
Ja, komm, Traktorbeam. So weit ist es nicht.
It's just not happening. Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter? Yes, sir.
Ah, der ist nur ein Chief, deswegen, okay.
Come on, Diaz.
Chief.
First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Okay, stabilisiere das Shuttle. So.
Oh, Excel.
Ah.
Oh, Steine,
Oh, oh.
Steine.
Pulling in debris. I'm on it.
Okay. Soll ich machen? Ach, die wegschieben?
Ja. Oh, Achtung, Shuttle, Shuttle.
Ja, ich kann halt nur nicht. Ah. Geht nicht, ich kann es nicht anwählen. Das kann ich aber anwählen.
Ja.
Weg, 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 weg. Ja. Jetzt kann ich das anwählen? Ja. Hui! Ja. Wir haben noch den Lackeimer von der ramponierten Halterung.
Ja.
That's gonna take out the shuttle. Diaz, the bridge. There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it.
Okay, Abfangkurs um Asteroiden.
Ja.
Komische Melodie hier irgendwie.
Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17, 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
Soundeffekte von der Orion.
Oh! Genau. Uiuiui.
Whoa. Someone's working hard on the bridge.
Ja, sieht gut aus. Zip. Ups. Donk.
Ein großes Publikum hier.
NCC 2000, das ist sogar von der Excelsior, oder?
Ja. Ja.
We got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good. We're on our way down to meet them.
Der Schub des Lebens.
So to speak.
Stimme.
Ambassador Spock. The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
Einverstehen. X.
Dann.
A?
Ja, oder so. X. Ja, mach X.
let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer.
Carter? Carter Diaz. Sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz.
Wer auch immer das synchronisiert hat, der ist der Hammer.
Safe arrival.
Ja.
Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
XXX.
You're very welcome, sir. I'm glad we could get you here in one piece.
Indeed. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident
Hammer.
the craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice,
Sturm.
we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
We'll take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
I'm
Ich glaube, wir haben einen
honored
guten
to have
Eindruck
you
gemacht.
aboard.
Ich glaube
I'd
auch.
like to get right to it.
Cool.
We're already behind.
Oh oh.
Was denn?
Der Maske Steam gekauft. Oder will kaufen. Warte, Nachricht. Die Wand.
Ja,
Ambassador Spock,
sehr Galaxy-like.
my senior staff.
Auch der Konferenztisch.
Mhm.
It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano.
Hallo, bin nur zu
But
Besuch.
legend
Hi.
implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most
Oder?
diplomatic choice of words.
Ja,
Your experience comes from the past. But our present situation calls for it.
True enough.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed. And the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
sorry, ich muss das ganz kurz so. Ich stelle mir die ganze Zeit vor, wenn ich wirklich da sitzen würde als Spock, alles mal, hi, juhu, leb lang in Frieden, juhu, ha. So, okay, wir können.
Genau.
So, was hattest du jetzt eben mit Steam?
Ich habe gerade eine Nachricht gekriegt, der Elon Musk will wohl Steam kaufen.
Okay. Immer
ja.
gerade das nächste Ding, was er kaputt macht. Ja, egal.
Aber weiter.
Die Stimme ist echt genial.
Ja, es
Ist
ist
das,
genial. Also,
ist das der Sprecher oder haben die dann noch eine AI drüber laufen lassen, die das irgendwie versucht hat, mit Leonard Nimoys alter Stimme versucht anzugleichen? Weil das
es
ist
gibt
echt
mittlerweile so
so
viele
gut.
Möglichkeiten. Ja, das ist richtig gut. Also in der Preview hat man ja diese Szene schon gesehen. Und da hieß es, ja, wenn wir näher beim Release sind, werden wir verraten, wer das ist. Keine Ahnung.
Ja, heute ist Release. Sie haben es immer noch nicht
Ja,
verraten, glaube ich.
ja, keine Ahnung. Aber die Stimme ist echt, das ist der Wahnsinn.
Die ist echt, also
Ja.
nicht ganz Nimoy, ich sag mal, in den letzten Jahren, weil da war noch so ein bisschen
Mhm.
so, ich nenne es mal wie so ein verklebter Rachenhals-Effekt noch mit drin
Ja,
bei
ja.
ihm, aber
Mhm.
locker mindestens so die 90er Jahre Spock.
Ja. Mhm.
So.
Richtig schön.
Lydia and Hotari.
Oh, okay,
The
ganz schön.
Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illidians have shared a mining operation there. The Illidians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illidians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
Y.
Ja.
Have the Illidians retaliated against the Hotari? Or taken any action against them?
Surprisingly, they have not yet responded in kind. They were open to a Federation presence, but it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illidian fleet in open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective after all.
That is correct.
A oder X?
Ich will mal, das würde mich wieder
If we could convince them, it would restore the peace. But we would need the Hotari to accept a difficult compromise.
Made all the more difficult by the emotions flaring on both sides, no doubt.
Neither the Illidians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illidians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah.
Ja, sie werden es
and
nicht
this is
vertrauen,
one
würde
of
ich
them.
Ja,
sagen.
denke ich mir auch.
That means the Hotari have no reason to trust us.
I wouldn't go that far, Commander.
We are completely neutral in this matter, on neither one side nor the other. Any suggestion otherwise would compromise our position. Given the Federation's involvement in the Illidium dilithium trade, Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Illidian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
X.
But they have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
If it's keeping the two sides talking instead of shooting at each other, that actually helps us negotiate a peace.
And we'll take advantage of that as long as it works in our favor.
And when it doesn't?
All the more reason to learn as much about it as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught unprepared, should the energy anomaly continue to fluctuate. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our system to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
Was habe ich gehört? Den Hund meinst du, oder?
Ja, der träumt.
Oh.
Und gebellt.
Roche Knochen.
Master Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes. where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
Y.
Ja, würde ich auch sagen.
With all due respect, Ambassador, I'm not a trained diplomat.
That's exactly what we're going to leverage.
I began my time in Starfleet as a science officer, not as an ambassador.
Ja, recht.
We must be adaptable in the line of duty.
Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
Ach, guck an.
Mr. Diaz, I understand you have already discussed the warp drive failure with Ambassador Spock.
I have.
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association with him. Especially when I have the entirety of the starship to concern myself with. I am not the chief engineer.
Ich würde X nehmen.
Okay, nimm X. Ja. Y.
Commander
Okay.
Jovak, is there anything you do enjoy?
I take pleasure in the satisfaction of a job well done. I suggest you try it sometime.
Boah.
Das war klar.
Carry on.
Vulkan, ja.
No, couldn't have been. One nice thing about Vulcans,
Der mag uns aber nicht so.
Chobak is the only person who didn't look at this and treat me like I was something to pity. Doc says I should get used to it.
Y.
Doesn't mean I want to be reminded of it every minute of the day.
Es ist nicht seine Schuld, sie hat
Hey, you won't get pity from me. I think it makes you look tough. As tough as you really are, that is.
And that makes you sound pretty smart. I might need you to save me from myself next time, though. Come on. Let's get to the bottom of this.
Die mochten diese Konsolen mit rein rausfahren, oder?
Ja.
All set. Let's run the diagnostic.
Okay, Diagnostik.
Sehr natürlich. Sehr distinguished Bewegung.
Hui. Hui.
Das ist nicht der Druiden, nach denen ihr sucht.
Ja, vor allem finde ich es auch schön so in Anführungszeichen.
Ja, genau.
So, starte Diagnose.
So, I know about your talk with Miranda.
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation.
Oh.
I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up. Because I would be very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you.
Oh, yeah.
All because things went south and you're not on speaking terms. That just isn't gonna work for me. And I know you'll respect that.
Ja.
You really don't believe in me, huh?
It's not you. Or her.
Oh, es könnte sein, dass
Just
sie auch was von
running
ihm
the
wollte.
numbers and things don't work out more often than they do.
Die hier, die Drill?
Ja, ja.
I like my friends and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done yet?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see.
Yeah.
The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
An EPS overload from the warp drive could cause that. But how did the shuttle end up dead in the water?
Huh. Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Okay. Echt ein bisschen unnatürlich aus die Armbewegung. Oh ja Gott, naja gut. Wir haben noch nie so LKs bedienen können in keinem einzigen Game. Also von daher.
Ja.
Oh. Okay. Siehst du das da rechts? Das war die Viridian 3-Sonde, die Sora in die Luft jagen möchte und deswegen den Verlauf des Nexus verändern möchte.
Sehr schön.
Ja. Ich muss sagen, also wir spielen halt erst seit knapp etwas anderthalb, vielleicht 2 Stündchen oder so. Ich mag die Crew.
Ich auch.
Ja, also
Ja,
geht
sehr
schon
gut
mehr Sympathiepunkte an die als an einige andere da draußen. Und da, ich mag's absolut. So, sollen wir hier machen? Scan. Was ist der? Nee, auf jetzt zurück. Ach, schade.
Here.
Aha.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Es war toll, dass wir nach Error 404 in der Zukunft auch Error 14720 und Error 15302 und Error 93224 kriegen werden. Endlich kriegen unsere Browsers mal Updates.
Yay.
Move.
Ich muss auf die Dinger selber drauf drücken.
Oh, ja.
The warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
Kannst du das da unten lesen?
In der Normal Operating Connectors, the warp field generates a plane, keine Ahnung, to the, ja, das ist zu schlecht zu lesen.
Plane parallel oder irgendwie sowas, ja, das ist leider nicht scharf. Mehr geht halt auch nicht.
Sie erklären es ja auch,
Ja.
Warp-Kaskaden.
There was a complete warp cascade failure.
Wow, they're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation. Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code. Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
So here, they take a moment to get their bearings and they attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There. That's the relays blowing.
And look, there's another warp system alert.
They're all the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked, or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One of these systems.
Ich bin für Warp Coils.
Ich auch.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Recorder kann
okay, das
analysieren. Ja.
Du kannst es dir schon mal eben einmal durchlesen, damit wir gleich wissen, was zu tun ist, weil wir sind schon wieder eigentlich am Folgenende angelangt. Deswegen würde ich sagen, an die Welt da draußen, danke fürs Einschalten. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Folge wieder. Bis dann, macht's gut. Fummel.
Mach's.